Tuesday, and you know what that means. It is IndyCar night on iRacing. Hello again, everyone. I am Gary Godson, and welcome to P1 Broadcasting signature presentation and coverage of Round 4, Week 4 of Season 3 of 2025 of the IndyCar Oval Series. Tuesday night top split presented by Topia Systems, coming to you from the racing capital of the world's most famous race course. The house at 16th and Georgetown, the track that everyone wants to win at. It's the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Qualifications currently underway with about 25 seconds left to play here before we have a starting lineup. Joining me as always in the booth and a special guest. We'll get to that special guest here in just a second. Justin Petschauer, Luis Gonzalez Nunez. Welcome to Indianapolis, gentlemen, once again. And a little bit of off-season Indy action here on the Oval.
Weren't we just here a couple months ago? I didn't get the memo that we were supposed to be back, but hey, it is what it is.
Luis, are you here?
So yeah, I hope Pinheiro is still alive. Remember, happened last season. He just make a one turn. I see Pinheiro's names over here. We have a big names around and big field today in the fixed series.
And joining us in the booth, he has won 2 of the unofficial Crown Jewel events here on iRacing in the IndyCar. He's a US 500 winner. He is also a winner of the Indianapolis 500 Open, the Open Indy 500, one of their top splits. Former Indy Fixed Series champion. He asked me to do this. Otherwise, it'd just be he's the guy you hear on Monday nights opposite Jacob Collins. It is Mark Murphy joining us here in the booth, and we're lining up and getting ready to go racing. But Mark, welcome to the booth.
Great to be here, Gary. One of the things that I'm looking forward to tonight is seeing somebody do something different. We are all so familiar with Indianapolis. As a matter of fact, 3 months ago, most of us ran so much Indianapolis that we could do it in our sleep. So the track is not unfamiliar to any of these drivers. This is one of the strongest fields that we've seen. Low I rating in the field is 4240. It is a very, very strong field. And so these guys know what they're doing here, but who's going to do something different? It may take something different to win this race. The other thing is the track is just about perfect, Gary. 78 degrees in the air, 112 on the track. This is absolutely awesome conditions to race. And look for the charge to the front. Oster, Kraus, Van de Zandt, and Sudik, Akabuezi, Malechka, they're all starting in the back.
And with tonight's starting lineup, we got 24 cars. Justin Petschauer.
Well, on the pole, it's Adriano Pinheiro. Next to him is Gary Miguel. Starting third, it'll be Jason Brophy. Fourth, it'll be Tanner Richards. Fifth, it'll be Brendan Lichtenberg of Team I5G, who's the mastermind behind some of the craziest stuff that iRacing has actually put out content-wise, social media. Sixth, it'll be Brandon Trost, the ultimate heel of the series.
Yeah, well, look who's right behind him on the grid.
I'll let you take that one there, Gary.
Well, we got Seb Alexander and Mitch back in row 4. The boss and his teammate, Clindy, defending series champion, back in row 5. Moving on to the next group, we got Taekwila Pizarro back in row 6. Warren Campbell back on row 7. Campbell survived pit road at Mid-Ohio. Back on row 8, we got Crash Neon, the lowest rated car the lowest rated I rating in this split. This is a 5.4K top split event. He has a 4.2. Hard to believe a 4.2 is the lowest one, but he is it. Right next to him is Ponto. Then we got Fraporti and Malechka, Akabuezi and Oster back in row 10. And wrapping up this field, we got Kraus and Van de Sant, Nick Sudik and Beto Sousa Rounding out the remainder of this 24-car field, we've got a lot of takers on the worst to first challenge. Getting ready to take the green flag here in Indianapolis.
50 laps is going to be a very short race, but it's going to be a sprint race nonetheless. Pace car is off. What do you say, Gary? Let's go from the Brickyard. Already a good start by Adriano Pinero, but here comes Brophy trying to get that run on Gary Miguel as they head off towards turn number 1.
Big lead. Nice big jump for Pinero. On the pole with a speed of 228 miles per hour. Look at this group back here. All of the the super guns and the super teams lining up in the back here. Try to worst for first challenge, and there is a buzzsaw back there as they're going 3 wide, 4 wide, thinking about it going in. Oster down to the bottom. Oh,
I noticed. You got to notice in there they're going 3 wide on each other. Nick Sudik thought that discretion was the better part of valor. He lifted out of that. Jacob Oster sent it way low. Hamilton Akabuezi was up in the cushion. They want to make sure no net code occurs, but they're going to need to get by Beto Souza in short order because they do not want to lose the draft of this pack. The temperatures are cool enough that we could see mean-like conditions here. So it's going to be exciting, but these guys do not want to get behind.
Back up to the front, we have Brophy the leader, but not for long. Miguel to the lead in turn 3. Pinero's back to the 3rd spot, and your teammate, Murph Seb Alexander, he is up the 4th. In fact, he is up 3 spots already, and he's one of your biggest gainers outside of Alex Van de Sande. VDS, he is up to 14th already, up 8 spots.
Yeah, Alex Van de Sande, known quantity here. Very, very, very quick in these cars. It must be said, strategy-wise, you want to do one of two things. You either want to pit as soon as the window opens, or you want to wait as long as possible. If you go full rich here, Gary, if you go full rich here, 27, 28 laps is the early window. The guys in the back, if they're running around full lean, they might be able to make 33, 34. Alex Van de Sande in the Indianapolis 500, the official version, we saw him make 37 laps. And so you're going to be looking at either the beginning of the window or late. If you're either way, though, you want to get up toward the front in a hurry. Seb Alexander doing that. Look for him and some of these other guys to peel off and pit 27 laps into this race or 23 laps to go.
Riding with Brian Campbell. We did not see him in either the fixed or the open 500s. He had to work for a living. Oh, car in front of him in the wall.
That was Tony Pizarro that got a little too high coming off of turn 4 there. He bounced off the wall. It might have damaged his car just a little bit. We'll have to see.
He's taken an evasive position, and now that little bit of a crack of the throttle. The train has started to come on by with those that started in the back now reaching Campbell here at 17th spot. Jacob Oster now up to 16th.
Those cars that started in the back, Gary, Luis, Justin, they are moving forward now. Van de Sande leads the charge. He's 13th. Akabuezi 15th. Oster 16th.
Oh, Pizarro again and almost in the wall.
I don't know that that's not net code, guys.
I don't know, man. It's getting really close.
I saw that car move just a little bit coming off of turn 4. Yeah, he's got a problem because he's letting Oster go by.
Well, and that's kind of a brave move from Jacob, too. You know, you get a car that's been in the wall a couple of times, or you think has been in the wall a couple of times. Going to his outside, that's pretty brave. We've got another battle. That's Tanner Richards looking on Brendan Lichtenberg. Seb Alexander has gone back by Jason Brophy.
Ends up the 3rd
Only
now.
Only 5 laps into this. Yeah, so Seb's up to 3rd. Only 5 laps into this. But you're going to see if tires are going to start to become an issue, you're going to have to wait 15, maybe 20 laps for that to occur. The temperatures are just about perfect. Still at 112 on the track. It might be a little bit on the touch on the warm side, but nothing these guys can't handle. This is going to get fun. Seb, you see him offsetting low, Pinheiro offsetting high. It wouldn't surprise me to see Alexander try to get past Guillermo Miguel here and go for the lead on Adriano Pinheiro. That's a hungry dude in that now black, gold, and orange car.
3 wide going into turn 3 there. They had to split it up there between Ward, Dave
Mitchell.
And Tyquilla.
Yeah. And checking chat, will this be doubled up like last week? No. Last week, this will be a single event race. We kind of only double up on what we call the meme races, which are the really oddball races that normally you don't expect to see IndyCar at, like Daytona, iRacing Superspeedway, Talladega. Sometimes you'll see us double up if they go to Plate Atlanta. But this will be a single race tonight, part of our regular coverage. Back up front, Pinheiro to the lead.
Side by side between Dave Mitchell and ADS there. ADS goes to the high side, gets by him with ease. I think I saw Pizarro, hit the wall again off of 4. That poor man, he's having trouble with just getting off of turn 4. It's starting to become the bane of his existence almost. His kryptonite, if you will.
He maybe needs to find a demolition company or something to sponsor his car, because he is trying to knock down walls here at Indianapolis, heading toward the north part of the racetrack, heading up into turn 3. We'll ride with Pizarro. His car seems to be tracking in a straight position.
What that word seems to be.
It seems to be, but it could be that he's got some kind of. It could be that he's scuffed the floor or slightly bent the suspension, and it looks okay, but it doesn't necessarily feel that way. I do want to point out Robert Malechka has not moved at all. The king of everything rides 23rd. I would venture a guess that Rob is playing coy with the fuel strategy here. He's just close enough to not lose the draft. He's not going very fast either, boys.
I think Matthew Ponto and the Ari Lyondike throwback from circa, let's say, 86, 87. I think for sure 86. I remember him in the Provimi Veal black and gold car for 86. He started from pit road. He is currently last on the racetrack back in 24th. But you're right, there is Robert. Very much just tucked in the draft right behind Nick Sudik in 22nd.
Bit of trivia about that Provimi Veal car. If you would, that was the first car to run the short-stroke Cosworth engine, which was kind of Cosworth's answer to the Chevy Indy V8, and was then developed into the first shoebox engine, which was the Ford XB, which kind of changed the face of all of IndyCar. So interesting bit of trivia, but that was the first short-stroke Cosworth, Gary. Was Ari Lyondike at Indianapolis, 1987. Dick Simon owned the car, if I remember correctly.
Crash Neon going 3 wide into turn 1. Oster on the outside. Campbell in the middle. Campbell, discretion and valor. He thinks better of it, rolls out of it, and loses 2 positions as a result, but he is still rolling, and he's going to attack Crash Neon to the inside. No, he's going to tuck back in and make another stab at him going into turn 3.
He thinks better of it, but he's going to try again. He'll try again going into turn 1 here, but as you said, discretion the better part of valor. He backed off just a little bit to fight off that turbulent, dirty air that he is getting from Crash Neon. Here he goes with the run down the straightaway here, heading towards the south end of the speedway. He's got that run. He's going to try again. He's going to look to the inside, and he will be able to complete the pass going into turn 1.
Speaking of dirty air, clean air, Tanner Richards offsetting from Brendan Lichtenberg brushed the wall pretty hard coming out of turn number 4. Kyle Clinworth almost took a send up the inside, thought better of it. He falls back into the clutches of Antonio Estrada, Josh Ward, Alex Van de Zandt, who's now moved into 10th. But Tanner Richards walloped the wall coming off of turn number 4. He hit it, he keeps on trucking, he's looking to the outside of Lichtenberg one more time. But that car definitely took a hit, Gary.
And that is your points leader coming into tonight. There are the points here on your screen. Tanner Richards with a pretty commanding points lead. That is not the active points. We'll get you the active points here. He's already into the 1,000 points range. There we go. We'll get that for you. Bring that up on the screen. Boom. There we go. And there we are. Tanner Richards with 1,048 points over Antonio Estrada, who is second in the points, and Clindy's in third Fazaro not in the lineup in fourth. Nick Sudik, who is buried deep in the field, back in, he's in fifth right now. Pizarro sixth. Matt Hollenball not in the field tonight in seventh. Ellis Spice not in the field tonight in eighth. Lichtenberg in ninth. He's in the field. We're watching one of his battles. And Mason Mitchum rounding out the top 10.
Yeah, another car that's not here that you would have normally expected to be was Trace Shadid. Trace is not, by the way, a fan of Indianapolis. And so he may be choosing to set this one out. Either that, or there's a pretty good strength of field that usually runs on Monday night in the old strength of field slot, as it were. And so some of those guys may have run last night. Interesting to note too, Tanner Richards has been very committed to that high side. Ooh, he just about knocked the wall down again.
Wow.
He's going to make the pass, and I think Brendan's just going to say, look, if you want to run it that loose, you go right on ahead. I'll catch it later. So Tanner Richards slides into fifth. The front four have been pretty stable. Now, Clindy, he's going to have a look on the high side of Lichtenberg, and that's where you have to make your moves, boys. It's very difficult to move on the inside here. You've got to get the conveyor belt going on the outside, because that's what gives you the draft straightaways.
Tanner Richards showing his displeasure of Clindy at Homestead from a couple of weeks ago. He dips down low and decides to give a little bit of the draft aid to Brendan Lichtenberg going down the backstretch.
It didn't matter, though. Clindy had so much momentum up on the high side that he was able to make the move.
You don't think we have long memories? Yes, we do.
You can ask, and I don't know about JP or LGN. You can ask me who wronged me in a go-kart when I was 8 years old. I can tell you the corner, exactly what painted line on the rumble strip it was at, the date, what I had for dinner that night. I cannot tell you the names of my kids.
Lewis, you could tell me anytime someone's wrecked you in IndyCar, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, car in the wall off of 4.
That was Akablazy.
That was Hamilton right around his neighborhood.
You know, it doesn't seem to be affecting these cars, though. Jason Brophy's gotten back by Seb Alexander. It doesn't seem to be affecting them negatively if they just kind of brush it. At least in the draft, they're able to stay in the draft. They're able to keep up. The tires at 18 laps old, now you're going to start to see who saved their stuff and who hasn't. The front 9 really have kind of established a small breakaway. It's not huge. It is a few tenths from P9 to P10. Hamilton's going to close that up. Other stories to circle, Robert Malechka remains 23rd.
Give it time on that one.
Alex Van de Sant now halfway through the field for him. Started 22nd, now is 11th.
Well, then you got to wonder, you know, I said at the beginning, somebody's going to do something different. Is it going to be Sudik and Malechka who peel off early and try to slingshot their way past the field using the benefit of the draft? They're going to have shorter pit stops if they've been back there saving. Somebody, in order to win this, is going to have to do something different.
They try the routine that is not going to work.
The rule set for tonight, by the way, this is a fixed setup race, of course. A 2.5-mile rectangular-shaped oval, 50 laps, 125 racing miles. No fast repairs. 3 sets of tires. They'll dip into those tires when they make their first pit stop here. Coming very shortly. The window, I think, is going to be open here in the next lap or so. But they get one of the car, 2 in the pit, 60 miles per hour pit road. Of course, the track record here at Indianapolis, the 1-lap track record, 239.6. The 4-lap average, 236.9, both set by R.A. Leyendyke. Your all-time winners here, of course, are A.J. Foyt, Al Sr., Rick Mears, and Helio Castroneves with those famous 4 wins here at the Brickyard. Team Penske figuratively and literally owns the Speedway from 72 to today. The team has amassed 20 Indy 500 wins between 14 drivers, but to look in their rearview mirror, although with their win this year, Ganassi is tied Andretti Autosport for second on the all-time list. With 6, the last winner who wasn't from a driver from Penske, Ganassi, or Andretti was in 2021 when Castroneves won his 4th driving for Meyer Shank. The last driver to win outside the current crop of IndyCar owners was Tony Kanaan driving for KV Racing in 2013. That's about everything you need to know about Indianapolis. It's our favorite place to be. Lap 21 of 50. Thanks for joining us. Make sure to smash that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you're not done so already. Next race for us is tomorrow night. You'll hear Murph and Ryan Eric King with round 2 of the Horizon IndyCar Series at Michigan. A big track like this, but an entirely different style of racing altogether.
And don't forget about Saturday as well with the iRacing IndyCar Series. 275 laps in the middle of a cornfield, Iowa Speedway. That'll be Saturday at, I believe, 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific.
Clindy coming to pit road, the first taker. If I can get my camera on him. That's how fast everyone's moving. So Clindy will be the first taker if provided that he does not catch any cautions. He might jump a position, just a little bit of a hesitation getting to his marks, but up on the jacks. He will get a short fill in the tank and a new set of tires, and he'll be down and away in 7.9 seconds.
Now, Clindy is going to be the first taker. He's going to come out. He is not going to. Well, here comes Seb Alexander. So Seb is going to peel away. You're also going to see
Mitch. Dave Mitchell.
Yeah, Dave Mitchell peel in. So, crucially for Clindy, though, nobody came in with it, right? Seb Alexander is going to have a little bit of help. It's going to be interesting to see. He needs to link up with Kyle Clinworth. This is about the time you're going to see the early takers. 27 to go. Theoretically, they can go another 6 to 8 laps, maybe as many as 10 for the guys in the back. So just kind of note that. Seb down and away. Dave Mitchell is going to be underway shortly. And for Mitchell, he's going to be in some trouble because he's not going to be able to, he's not going to be in the draft. He's going to lose the draft envelope of Seb Alexander. Waiting on Clindy to make his arrival. Clinworth is not going to be in the draft envelope either of Seb Alexander, or it's going to be very close.
And they are kind of cooperative teammates. You've talked about it before here. The Alliance, it's the IAR and the Satellite Racing, as well as Rogue Racing, all together working. And I don't know, though, how much Seb is going to slow up to allow Clindy to run him down. He doesn't have much time, especially to race this short at 50 laps. And we expect mostly green flag running the whole time as we see more drivers coming to pit road led by Tanner Richards.
He's not going to have to. Clindy is now within the draft envelope of Alexander. He just caught it when they got up to speed 1.7 seconds, and you've got to be within 1.8. So Clindy will be there, and they'll be the thing, though, is they're not going to really be able to work together because these cars that are coming out now, they're on the pit lane now. Richards and Estrada, they're going to come out and blend into this battle, or at least they theoretically should. It's also worth mentioning, though, Estrada's a part of that group too, and so Clindy, Seb Alexander, Tony Estrada, Ty Keela, and Brian Campbell, they're all in the same chat. They're all working.
Oh, there's Clindy, purple lap right there at 2:22.1. And I think I heard LGN want to get ready to say something. I think Pinero is actually within the draft envelope of Dave Mitchell in front of him, so that's going to help him.
Yes, he would be.
Yes, it is. It is. Actually, it helps something, but yeah, I don't know. It really? I have a lot of questions about Maleska.
Oh, Maleska for Porty does a little bit of a fade on him, and then he cuts down across the nose in turn 3.
Oops.
I am surprised that we did not have a king of the mic in game.
The mailman sent it, and he sent it right across the nose of King Roberts.
I'm sitting here stunned just like you.
The things that make me glad I'm semi-retired, Gary. But no, you mentioned Adriano Pinheiro within the draft envelope of Dave Mitchell. That is huge. That's a leader's dream right here, because that negates the advantage that those early stoppers got. It also hurts Dave Mitchell because essentially he's going to be a lap down. He will essentially lose the draft of the cars in front. He is not in contact with the cars.
This battle between 440 and let's go!
Return the favor.
Wow!
Rob ain't shy about it either. If you drive him that way, he will drive you that way back.
I will note, I did see him a lap ago after the door was slammed shut on him by 440. He basically just gave him the bird.
Could you imagine how, I mean, do you think that would be a button that everyone would map on their steering wheel if you could actually give someone the bird in this race?
You know you could. I do want to point out Crash Neon just got in the fence a little bit. He is
watching that battle right there. He's right in front of Robert. Yep.
Yeah. Robert's substantially turned up the wick now. He is the fastest car on the speedway the last couple of laps. And this is kind of what you figured he was going to do. He sat in the back. He saved some gas, saved his tires, and now he is just going to absolutely rip around the Indianapolis Motor Speedway until he has to pit. Pinheiro, Brophy, Lichtenberg still out.
Well, I mean, Pinero's right around drivers that have a lot of pace. I mean, we got Mitchell, we got Campbell, both winners here in the top split on this broadcast. They have a lot of pace.
Think of it like a conveyor belt, though, boys. So see where Robert is right now? See where Rob is right now?
Sure.
Think of it like a conveyor belt. When one car in front of you pulls off and you've got that nice second or so gap to the car in front, you're able to close that almost within a lap under the draft. And it's like a conveyor belt. It just springs you forward through the field in a run like this. And especially somebody that's as good on pit lane as Malechka. He's one of the best on and off the pit lane here. We do want to make sure we watch Jason Brophy get on and off the pit lane. That's a driver who's noted to have had some contretemps with the pit entry here. But Malechka, very good. Pizarro, very hot onto the pit road.
Oh, he got there. No black flag.
Yes, he did, but that was awfully close, G. Awfully close. Worth noting that Pinheiro is now slingshotting with Dave Mitchell.
Yeah, he is working with him up at the front, and right behind them is Ryan Campbell. And in case you're wondering, Ryan Campbell, it was not him that got hit on pit road at Mid-Ohio. He was on the other wheel. Here comes Pinheiro. But I believe Ryan was telling me that he Ward got the black flag. Yes, you did. And you saw how much he slid across the line. Nick Sudik coming to pit road. Talking with Ryan, he says he might be moving to that wheel where that driver, I think his name is Don, got hurt when we go to Iowa this week. And, speaking of different styles of racing, Iowa coming up this Saturday, 2 p.m. Eastern, as mentioned by Justin, right here on P1 for the top split of the IIS, presented by 4D Racewear. Don't miss it as Josh Ward gets the 40-second penalty. His race is pretty much done now. Here comes Brophy. Here comes Brendan. Brendan not sporting. Oh, Brophy flashing out. Brendan not sporting the Larson livery like he did this weekend at Mid-Ohio. Again, the king of the trolls trolling us a little bit. We appreciated it.
That's fun.
Tyquilla in and Brandon Trost coming in.
Jacob Oster also on the pit lane. Worth noting.
Oster still on the racetrack right now. He might be coming to pit road. Trost?
Or is that Ty?
Trost has Forporti. There's an explosive combination right there on the racetrack. Forporti on the outside, not giving any inches. Trost like, I'm just going to come to pit road. Here comes Oster right with him.
ADS also going in.
In my defense, Oster and Tyquilla very similarly painted cars. So my apologies to both of those individuals. They are, of course, very different people, but their cars very similar.
And your leader is PK now. Bill Kraus, winner. He won at Mid-Ohio. On our IAS coverage on Saturday. Robert Malechka now up to second. We expect to see Robert and PK on pit road about any time. Here comes Robert this time. PK on pit road this time, so they could make it only to 35 laps. But as mentioned, they're going to have shorter fills than everyone else, so we will see where they pop out. Pinheiro is halfway down the backstretch, and look at all the traffic just beyond them.
This might just be a tire stop. They're not gonna this is just gonna be a tire stop for Phil and Rob. They don't.
You mean a fuel stop, but no tires?
They don't. They need less fuel than the time it takes to change the tires.
7.8, 8.1.
7.88 seconds. Yeah.
I think they went ahead and took fuel on tires.
Well, but the fuel took less time than the tires. Is what I'm getting at.
Yep. Oh, Miguel on the high side of Alex Van de Sant. Hitting tight corners. Oh, off the corner exit. Sadiq, purple lap of 222.4. Oh, Miguel again. Clindy. Oh. Miguel just rides right in the middle. He's trying to block both of them. He's in that Castro Neves throwback from this year. I shouldn't even say throwback. That's what he drove this year. He goes to the inside, and Clindy just runs him up the racetrack into the wall. Oh, and Oster right into the back of it. A weird caution. That was a big wreck.
That was Oster, I believe.
That was Jacob Oster.
Holy Moses.
Let's watch from Oster's point of view. I don't know what happened here. He just kind of drove right on into it. He did try to, but he had nowhere to go. And he does a full barrel roll.
We'll have to get Andrew Wood.
Oh, net coat.
And also coming off of pit road right there was Robert Maletska. I think they were avoiding the wreck because also I see down there Ryan Campbell and also Nick Sadiq. So there we go. That's what we see down there.
I did go back and watch it from Jacob's point of view. No chance for him to avoid that. No chance for him to come back. Guillermo Miguel kind of came in a direction that would have been unorthodox, and he just couldn't avoid it. And that's the chatter in game, but a tough break. The gloves were off for Clinworth there, though. Did you notice he just basically got the elbows out and said, "It's my corner." And Guillermo Miguel declined to lift, and there might have been a little bit of net code there, but Guillermo Miguel did not lift when it wasn't his corner and got up and slapped the fence, and chaos ensued.
Yeah, let's go back and watch this here. We'll set it up a little bit further on back as they cross at the start-finish line. Clindy to the inside. Coming into turn one, Clindy down low. Just doesn't get to the white line. And I thought he kind of forced him up, but you're right, LGN. I think there was a little bit of net code there. A little bit of net code contact. But again, he was not, and there's a big barrel roll hit by Jacob Oster. We can go back and watch that.
I will say this. I just want to ask. Judges score on that barrel roll. I give it about an 8.5 out of 10.
I'm gonna give it. The East Germans have it at 6.75.
It's very reminiscent a little bit of the Jay Howard Scott Dixon incident from 2017, just a little bit, just in the fact that Howard goes up the racetrack, hits the wall. Now I don't know if Miguel bounced off the wall or was at a broken car or what, but in the case of Jay Howard, he hit the wall, had a broken car, and then shot across traffic and then collected Dixon, who did that incredible barrel roll pirouette and snapped the car in half and came to rest right there in the right about the same spot that Oster did right there, right outside of the Riley Children's Hospital suites in turn 2. But we are back under caution. Lights are still on the pace car. So that will give me an opportunity to tell everybody today, if you enjoy P1's coverage of the IndyCar Oval Series, Tuesday Night Top Split, presented by Topia Systems, and respect the stream, please do us a solid. Make sure you support us by subscribing, and while you're at it, don't forget to smash like and click the bell so you'll miss out on future P1 iRacing broadcast. And again, want to thank the guys at Topia Systems. They are the presenting sponsor of the Tuesday Night Top Split here on P1. Topia is where quality and affordability go full throttle. From custom rigs to powerful pre-builds, Topia delivers top-tier performance without all the sticker shock, built from premium parts and backed by a team that really cares. Every system is tuned for gaming greatness. Topia Systems, built right, price right, game on. To learn more, check out their links in the description. If you like what you see here on the stream, this is a Topia built system. Give them a call. All the info you need is in the description. Adriano Pinero is your leader. Hamilton is second. Lichtenberg is in third. Brophy is in fourth. Van de Sant is in fifth. It is a virtual who's who in the IndyCar community in the top 5. We have two-time Elite Racing League Warriors for Peace IndyCar champion Pinero, your leader. Akabo Easy, who won the Elite Racing League's Indy 500. Lichtenberg, one of the Pro Series drivers. Brophy, he's won just about everything on the sun. In fact, he's a former Elite Racing League Warriors for Peace IndyCar Series champion. And Alex Van de Sant back there in fifth. He's a former Elite Racing League's Warriors for Peace IndyCar Series champion. So, and then we get to Glindy, who's a former Series champion, defending Series champion. Phil Krause finished second in the Pro Series. He's seventh. Seb Alexander has a number of wins under his belt. Estrada, second in the points right now in the Oval Series. And Brendan Trost, almost 1,200 wins, official iRacing wins under his belt. Coming to the green flag this time. Goodbye, guys.
That's why I retired the too many resume over there, man.
I mean, it's that reading that list. I mean, it should underline you almost have to have been a high level driver, championship caliber driver. As they scream off into turn 1, the front 3 got a huge break.
Go back here right around Estrada, Trost, and Maletska. Maletska forcing the issue here on Trost. He gets underneath. He's going to follow Estrada through 2, and he's going to force Trost up into the wall almost.
Oh.
And Trost is going to come down the racetrack.
And Trost has said over the radio, I don't know how we didn't wreck.
Whoa.
I will agree with him, even though I don't really like him that much. I will agree with him on that one. How did y'all not wreck?
Well, somebody else came on the radio and said, if you think it was luck, let's do it again.
Yeah, I think that was Crash Neon that said that.
Nick Sudik underneath Campbell. Oh, big twitch for Nick.
Oh, wow. I'll say, oh, man.
Nick finished on the podium in the Indy Open Series last season, and that was coverage was brought to you by Mark Murphy here on Monday nights.
Of note, Alex Van de Sant has now moved into 5th. Phil Krause is 6th. We have
here we go. 3 wide for the lead. Brophy on the low side. Pinero in the middle. Akabueezy up high. Someone's got to let go here, and Akabueezy goes from the lead back to 3rd in 2 turns.
I was going to say, if you were going to ask me to bet on who was going to lift there, boys, I wouldn't have been able to decide. They're going to go 3 wide through the north end again here.
Maybe this Lichtenberg taking 4. He was sliding up.
he thought about it.
Yeah, he was thinking about it, but he thought better of discretion.
Oh boys. Look at this 8th and 9th. Trost and Alexander side by side coming off the corner.
Oh, here we go. Hold your breath.
Oh, Brophy in the middle. He's going to come out as a leader. Pinero's going to hold his line down low, and they're going to give each other, and they're not going to give each other any room on the bottom. Brophy gives a little bit of a pinch, but here comes Akabueezy. He cuts across 3 lanes of traffic to the bottom side, coming into 3. The low line, he has to come up a little bit to give him a better arc into the corner, and he does, and he comes out as the leader.
Now, here's the thing. All the guys at the front, minus Adriano Pinero, are very close friends. And so it wouldn't surprise me if they were all working together. Even still, though, I wouldn't mind having Clindy's spot right here because I don't know that the front 6 may get through here, Phil.
Oh, sorry. I was looking at Glindy as we mentioned him. But, I mean, there's a difference between they're all working together. This group of drivers, probably Akabueezi, Brophy, Van de Sant, Kraus, but they don't dislike Pinheiro, unlike some other drivers they would work up and team up against. It's just that Pinheiro has no one up there to help him.
Right.
I think he has bounced off the wall coming off of turn 2. He has to back out of it again at the north end of the speedway. But look who's behind EDS. It's Brandon Tues.
Oh boy, Sudik up in the fence. If you haven't already done it, friends, buckle up, go wide.
I love LGN's comment. There it is. Pinheiro goes into the wall. He was a bit of a hip checked by PK, but he's still in it. He still has power. He's still in the draft. And we go 3 wide for his position. Listenberg to the bottom side.
Adriano, have a meatball flag.
Oh, Pinheiro meatball.
Oh, no.
Meanwhile, there's 3 wide behind him.
Yeah, still 3 wide behind him, and now Brandon Tues gets passed by Robert Malechka.
Oh, you know what? He might not have to answer it. He have 5 laps to answer it, and we are at lap 46. So we're at 47. He might not have to answer it. He's going to stick it out.
I mean, jumping on board with Adriano Pinheiro right here, looking at his race car down the straightaway, the wheel is not off. And so if he doesn't, it's not necessarily driving any different, Gary. If he's able to drive it like this and iRacing isn't going to penalize him, why not keep your boot in it? Adriano Pinheiro.
It's the turn.
Coming to 2 to go. 5 miles.
Oh, and everybody's scattering to the wind.
Oh. Coming to the white flag this time by, and now we're going to go 3 wide. Tues to the outside. He tucks back in, back up front. It is Phil Kraus. PK won one of the top splits yesterday, Lewis, and he won by the slimmest of almost all margins, 0.002, I believe.
Oh, yeah, it wasn't the last 2 laps to go with one yellow in the last lap, and Kraus make the pass in the last lap, and he won the race.
And they split Jason Brophy there going into turn 1.
Do we see a repeat of it? They do that. They do split Brophy. Here comes Kraus. He won one of our broadcasted splits of the Indy 500. Akabueezi won 2 of them. He won our broadcasted
the favor.
top split, and then he also won our produced Elite Racing League race. And then we got Brophy, who just all of a sudden is up there, and he's going to take the white flag.
Any one of these front 5 or 6 cars could win it. Any one of the front 5, 3 wide again.
I love hearing the reactions.
Don't count out the car in 5th. Robert Malechka is on the scene. He can still win this from here. Also, Hamilton Akabueezi is going to put his car right up on the wall through 3 and 4. I got a feeling about this.
Oh, Brophy to the bottom. Brophy to the bottom. He kind of pulls a bit of a Pagano type pass.
Not just Pagano, but also Ryan Hunter-Ray. But here comes Phil Kraus on the inside as they come off of turn 4, still side by side. Brophy's going to let him go by. Phil Kraus is going to take the lead here. Who's it going to be?
I think it's going to be Brophy. I think Brophy's going to get him. No, same margin of victory. Same margin of victory. Brophy does not get him the margin of victory, 0.001. That's 2 weeks in a row we've had a race decided by that margin.
I thought Brophy had it there.
Another 10 feet he would have, boys. That was incredible.
And Brophy just chimes over the radio, I got PTSD. Oh, what a race, boys. What a race.
Here are your final results from Indianapolis. Phil Kraus with the win, backing up his win from yesterday. So his win from yesterday, Lewis, was 0.002. His win for today is 0.001. So he has 2 wins in 2 days by a margin of victory, combined margin of victory of 0.003. I think the man needs to go buy, with some of the money he won from the Pro Series, he needs to go buy a whole bunch of lottery tickets.
That's true for sure.
Brophy, another close call at Indianapolis for Jason Brophy. He's second, Akabueezy third, Alex Van de Sande in fourth, Robert Malechka from the back of the field. The strategy works out. He comes home with the top 5. Brandon Trost in 6th, Lichtenberg in 7th. Pinero with the damage falls to 8th. Clindy in 9th, Pizarro in 10th. Pizarro survives. Remember, in the first half of the race, all he was trying to do was tear down the turn 4 wall for future IMS expansion. Nick Sudik back at 11th, Seb Alexander at 12th. The boss, Antonio Estrada. The key thing here is he finishes ahead of Tanner Richards. Tanner Richards finishes dead last. So Antonio Estrada, just by finishing 13th in a 5.4K race, is going to gain in the points lead. I don't know how much he's going to gain on Tanner. We'll see that here in a little bit. Clindy finished ahead of both of them. He's going to gain the most, but Antonio Estrada will be a lot closer to the lead. At the end of this race, he might actually be back in third place. We'll have to see how that falls out. But that is championship implications right there. Brian Campbell 14th, Tyquilla 15th. Sousa started at the tail end of the field. He finishes 16th. For 40, the mailman delivers 17th. Ponto starting from pit road in 18th. Crash Neon, the lowest I rating here, comes home 19th. Dave Mitchell in 20th. Josh Ward with the black flag on pit road in 21st. Miguel bouncing off the wall in the south end of the racetrack and collecting Jacob Oster in 22nd, 23rd. And Tanner Richards comes home in 24th. Our series points leader, dead last. And a 5.4K. That's going to be costly. All right, we need to get some.
Remember last week?
Yeah, go ahead.
Remember last week you said about Daytona, Indianapolis, Pocono, and Michigan, because Oster lost the victory. It's no extra bonus for the.
Yeah, I know. No Grand Slam bonus.
Yeah, but the Grand Slam for the IndyCar is Indianapolis. So Kraus won the Indianapolis today. So who knows? It's no bonus for sure for this week, but for sure is we're gonna remember for somebody can win the 3 races.
There you go. That's for sure. Yeah, Kraus is now, he can maybe do the Triple Crown. I'm just queuing up some. There we go.
But no bonus for nobody.
Yeah, I get to keep my $150. I tried to give it away. I was going to give it away. And let's see. Akabueezy. And we'll bring him on up in here. Hey, Hamilton. How you doing? Are you there, Hamilton?
Hello.
There you are. Hey, I just wanted to check and see how you doing. Catch your breath back. But what a finish there. It looks like you guys, on one hand, were having a lot of fun, but on the other hand, you guys had your hands full.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, with the caution and everything, bringing it close, that was crazy at the end there. I mean, honestly, the racing's kind of fun. It feels like you really don't get that big of runs, but the racing was somewhat fun there towards the end. I mean, it's always a bit chaotic, and I'm also, I don't know, it's a little hard. I was trying to maybe get back to Phil and Jason, but when I'm also having to defend from Alex, it makes it pretty difficult. So yeah,
battle on two, battle on
only
two fronts. Yeah,
side in the top 5.
Well, I mean, talk about your race. I mean, you started 19th. Doing the kind of the not the worst from first, but the no qual to first, and you got up into that lead pack there in the end. Was it really the make up those kind of key positions on the racetrack, and then really just because of the short fill and able to go longer than everyone else is kind of what helps you in that big overcut there when you do come to pit road later than everyone else?
I mean, started 22nd, but it was fun coming through the field, to be honest. It's just making moves early on always helps, and then got kind of stuck behind, who was it, Josh Ward, which was kind of a roadblock. But once pit cycle happens, like, we started getting a ton of draft, like, for us that stayed out longer, so that really benefited us to pull up a lot more, jump a couple people in the pits. And I had a really good pit entry, so I ended up coming out P2, which was kind of surprising to me. But so that's all really good. I mean, it's always fun here coming from the back to just practice racecraft. Makes you a better driver if you're able to come from the back to the front every time, and be fine with it.
Shout outs, friends, family, sponsors. Anyone you want to say hi to?
I mean, shout out everyone up front that we were racing with. That was pretty fun. I mean, shout out to them. Shout out to Nick for running. Shout out to you guys for the broadcast.
Well, congratulations on the P3. We'll catch you at the next race. Until then, go catch your breath.
Thanks. Yeah.
And I had him starting at on 19th on the grid. He said he started 22nd. Or maybe I did read 22nd, and that was Alex Innocent. If I did, sorry about that. Let's bring up Brophy. Here he is. Jason Brophy joining us in the booth. Man, so many of these races we watch and it's so close at the end. I thought for a minute you were going to get the run there, and yeah, you did, but you needed like an extra 10 more feet in order to pull that one off. 0.001 of a second over, PK over you. I guess I want to say congratulations on the P2, but definitely made the race exciting for us. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, little traumatic after the last two broadcast Open 500s, and I finished second yesterday in Iowa. So, really like these seconds. No, I'm happy with how I drove, and that really is what it boils down to. I didn't take the last to first challenge. I don't think I'm good enough in traffic to do that. So kept myself toward the front. Pretty bad pit stop, to be honest. I was a little slow in and out, but managed to keep myself clean. Put myself in position at the end, and then working with Phil. Didn't even really have much chance to work with Phil. It was mostly just make sure I stayed in the top 3. Feels like the runs, like at the end there, the third place is almost where you wanted to be, because you could just set yourself up a big enough run if you stayed close enough to the cars in front to carry speed. I knew going down the backstretch being a leader was not going to be great. My hope was that I could do what I did, and that was hop in behind Phil off. I knew Phil was going to clear me through the corner, and so like as I was going through 3, I knew, okay, we're not staying here. The hope is I can tuck in behind him and get enough to run to the line, and I got there. I could have stayed in draft a little bit longer. I could have, because I don't even think it was 10 feet. I think it was about 2 feet. I don't even know how much extra speed at the line, but it was a fair bit. But still happy with how I drove. Happy we could bring home a team hype 1-2. Just keep the Indy stuff going. But yeah, how much did I have an overspeed on him? I was 3 miles an hour faster. So somebody,
it was
not much different.
Just a matter of time. Yeah. Well, I mean, talk about your race. I mean, and you mentioned it. How was the grip back there? The grip looked good because we saw a lot of people going 3 wide at points. Was the grip that good, or maybe people were just a little opportunistic out there and we avoided more cautions than we actually got out there?
I think deeper in the pack, the further you go into the pack, the worse the dirtier gets, right? So
right.
That's and that seems to be a change. Like, it doesn't seem to have been this bad before I shouldn't say bad, but like toward the front, if you're 1-on-1, third air is barely, I mean, it's there, but it's not that bad. You get a little hint and it feels like you're in clean air enough. But you go 3, 4, 5 cars back, 6 cars back, and with the extra tow, all that, like my tires were 20-something% better than Jacob or something when he pit, and it's easier to take care of your stuff. I never really felt pressure, which was nice. I didn't feel like I had to go forward. It's part of the going last first. I didn't think I had the talent to do it, so credit to him. I think Rob got to 5th. Hamilton obviously was 3rd. Alex 4th. So they rallied really well. Phil won. I just realized Phil did the first challenge and beat me. But I managed to keep myself up there, take care of the tires. I tend to have a problem right now with burning up the tires a bit, but at Indy, it wasn't that bad. On the other hand, this is not a particularly warm track, so it gives me hope that we can have some good racing in the open side of things, especially as it gets hotter. That it wasn't just everybody on top of everybody for the whole race. That's what we were afraid of with some of these, with the barge board introduction, the less dirty air, especially 1-on-1 that they give. But yeah, happy with the race and happy with how I drove. So.
You want to talk about a hot track? You ain't seen nothing until you tried out Iowa for the IAS.
No, see, you're forgetting that I ran the open Indy race that got over 135 here.
Ooh.
So.
Ooh, but before we let you go,
it's gonna be 130.
Before we let you go, and you mentioned something, and for people that just kind of don't know, and I've saw a lot of mention of this today, or on the boards and everything. But I'm an IndyCar person; I know what it is. But for those that don't know what it is, you mentioned the barge boards. For those watching at home that don't know what the barge board is, can you explain the barge board and that it's not on the car for this setup? Or it is on the car. It is on the car. Sorry.
Yeah, it is on the car for this setup. It's a piece of underbody air. It gives you more underbody downforce, and that's a big deal. Like that underbody downforce is more consistent in dirty air. So it's a piece that provides more downforce when your car is a little higher up. And since you tend to run the rear up at Indy, for example, in traffic, it makes your downforce overall a little better, less reliant on the overbody, which gets hurt more by cars in front of you. So I think that's where it makes this kind of racing. It makes fixed racing a little tighter. I mean, that's the gist of it. But I still think it was pretty okay. I mean, some people got locked. I know there were some complaints. People were locked up in the draft, having a hard time moving forward there before the pit stops. But I'd rather have that than everybody passing everybody willy-nilly, at this temperature. We can still get that at like probably 100. I would guess we'd be all over each other. But at least at this temperature, it hard enough to good racing, but you can't just go back and forth through the field like Rob likes to do.
Thanks, Jason. We appreciate it. Congratulations on the P2. We'll catch you at the next one, okay?
Thank you.
And let's bring up PK. Here he is. Sorry for the wait, Phil. Congratulations on the win. 2 days, 2 races, margin of victory, combined margin of victory, 0.003. I was saying in the race, do you feel lucky? And maybe do you need to go out and with some of that butt kicker money, go out and buy some lottery tickets? Maybe the luck's good this week?
Yeah, it definitely does come down to luck at the end of those races, as you saw. First of all, apologies to Adriano. I don't know if you guys caught that, but yeah, I just never knew he was alongside. By the time I knew he was alongside and cranked wheel in it, I couldn't yoink the car enough in time to not kill him. But luckily, he didn't get DQ'd. He had a meatball. It kept him in A.
Yeah, there's a bit of a grace period window that if you actually get a meatball in the last 5 laps of a race and you have to answer in 5 laps, if you don't come to pit road, you could still finish the race with a meatball flag and not get a penalty. I mean, I'm still showing him in his final finishing spot, so I don't think he got a penalty out of it.
Yeah, but it still shows him there for me too.
Yeah,
sorry.
but it did. It did kind of. He did a good job at hanging on to it and hanging on to you guys up there. And I know you didn't mean to, because I mean, as Pinero is in the community, he's a very clean racer. You guys all seem to race him pretty fairly, but you did the start at the end of the field and did the worst to first challenge. I know it's kind of a regular thing for you. I think you kind of got it mastered.
And say that. But honestly, starting from the back here this week is pretty fun. Like Indies have passed. You're like, I feel like you're like 3 degrees too hot. You were super spread out and you couldn't race anyone. 3 degrees too cold. Obviously, we haven't run like different temperatures because this is pretty hot for Indy weather.
Yeah.
And it was still pretty packy, I'd say.
Mm-hmm.
But the way they changed the draft model, you saw it in the last lap.
Oh, yeah.
Neither of those two moves that Jason and I made would happen on the old draft model.
That is true.
So, he's like, yeah, you're never making a move into the short chute.
Yeah, I was going to. I was actually wondering about that because I mean we saw many times, and I was asking Brophy about this a number of times. Just I don't think I've seen as 3 wide as often in a race this short as I saw today. That comes to mind. So yeah, the draft model has definitely changed. So the latest update has definitely changed some things up. But your winner today, shout outs, any friends, family, sponsors, anyone say hi to. It's been a great week for you. It started off, well, I guess it's 7 days. It's not been an official week because you won Wednesday, right? In the IIS. Yeah. And then back here 6 days later, winning at Indianapolis on the on the Oval Series.
Maybe I got to try and get my frequent flyer miles. And is it Friday or is it Saturday for IIS at Iowa?
It will be Saturday for the top split. Yeah.
All right, try and collect my frequent flyer miles on Saturday. But yeah, just same shout outs as everyone, as always. Sorry to everyone on Powerside Motorsports. Obviously, it's a fixed setup, so it's not as big of a deal the setup side. But I think we kind of worked together at the end there. I don't know. Jason said we didn't really work together. I know I gave him the inside once. So, I don't know. Anyway, it was fun. Low fuel at Indy in the hot with this new package. Definitely a lot more 3 wide, like you said. So, if we see that, and it's the same draft package when we get to Indy for the Open Wheels 500 in November, it'll be a pretty hectic race.
The PRI Hoosier 500. That will be in December.
Sorry, yeah, I forgot. Hoosier 500.
Yeah, got to get those sponsors in. Yeah, PRI.
Sorry, Hoosier, PRI. Forgive me.
I was going to say, do they still do the Open Wheels 500?
No, it got sold to Tanner Watkins and Ryan Scholl, and now it's the PRI Hoosier 500. It'll be in December, and it'll be right here, or at least some of the practice will be right here on P1. Well, thank you very much, PK. Congratulations on the great week. Congratulations on the win. Go buy a lottery ticket. I think you probably should, but we'll catch you in the next race.
I've already used the luck. I can't buy a lottery ticket now.
Oh, I think you have some luck left over. I think that's how the PK luck thing works.
We'll find out on Saturday.
Okay.
No, you still got luck left over. Trust me.
All right. Well, cheers to you guys for putting on the show as always.
All right. Thanks, Phil. We appreciate it. See you.
See you Saturday on track, PK.
See ya.
Yep, bye-bye.
Oh, boy. Mark had to leave because he has domestic duties he needs to do. He's a smart man because when the woman tells you to do something, that's what keeps you alive a lot longer in life. But, guys, just a heck of a race here once again at Indianapolis. Justin, starting with you, then off to LGN for final thoughts. Another, I guess, win here for the super team of Hyper Power Slide, and we know that the guys from I5G are working there, and I guess we also have a little bit of the Fiercely Forward squad working with them in this one. They put on a big show and a good show for us. And the slimmest of all margins. Again, last week we had a 0.001 finish at Daytona in their second race we did, and today we had a 0.001 margin of victory in a race. So 2 weeks in a row, and you can't get much closer on the timing and scoring sheet as we did tonight and last week.
No, you cannot. But also remember, folks, the difference between Indianapolis and Daytona, they're both 2.5 miles. But they're shaped differently. This is a rectangle. That one is a D shape with much higher banking. But I digress. I'm like PK and Brophy. That was it was a bit of a hectic race with one car airborne. Sadly, Jacob Oster with a 8.5 out of 10 perfect barrel roll. I'll give him that. That may be turned into a GIF or something. I don't know yet. It might be. But I'm looking forward to next week, and I had my schedule sheet here, and I just completely lost it.
Kansas.
Yes, thank you. Kansas is going to be interesting to see, but this is your typical IMS. You got guys that'll essentially hang out in the back, figure out the fuel strategy, play around with the engine map setting. I've done that before, and you'll probably have some guys, bitching and whining, trost. But what more can you expect? Indianapolis always has shenanigans, some good, some bad, but we love it.
It's okay. Everyone has an opinion, but final thoughts from LGN. LGN, what do you think of today's race? I know you just like to kind of watch these races, and we kind of heard your reactions in the background of oohs and ahs and ums, and did it live up to all your hype?
Yeah, it was an exciting race, especially in the end. Again, Phil Krause won the race by inch or centimeters. I don't know how much is it, but he did a good job to hold over there. And it was an exciting race. Unfortunately, good for Phil Krause to apologize on Piñeiro. Piñeiro still outside in there and saved all the bad stuff in the race. But it was like IMS always do, but it's different now. It was different. It wasn't hot. It was pretty cool to race in group. Mm-hmm. That's a good thing, because you remember the other races with 125 or 130 is just two cars battle for the race. So it was a good race today for the show. I don't know what about inside, but for the show it was a good race. So like Justin said, next one is Kansas. It's gonna be night race. Oh
gosh, yeah, you know what that means.
It's gonna be a pack race.
Yeah,
yeah, pack race. I hope the net code. I hope the net code is not gonna be in issue today, because it was issued next week. It was issued today with Piñeiro and Oster and Guillermo over there. So I hope it's not going to be like that. So see you next week, and see you Sunday with the Dark Horse race. I think so. Is this week?
Yeah, that is Dark Horse on, let's see. Let's get the calendar. Where's my calendar? Get the calendar. There it is. Next time you and I, or actually it'll be me and Andrew Wood, but you'll be in the car for Dark Horse on the Sunday the 13th at 8 p.m. Eastern time, and I'll be right here. That's the Dark Horse Racing Series presented by the Joy of Driving, their DW12, the longest running DW12 series on the service, and it's right here on P1. But that's going to do it here for tonight for everybody. And man, I didn't really get a chance to read the sponsors and do the updates, because the racing was just that good all the night. It's just the action was all on the track. Somebody was always talking. Somebody was always going three wide. Someone was already forcing somebody up in the wall all the time. What a night. What a night. What a night. So that's going to be it for tonight. Once again, your podium from Indianapolis, PK, with another win this week. Phil Krause gets the win. You saw him win Wednesday night at Mid-Ohio. He's going to get the win here at Indianapolis. And do we see him get the win Saturday at 2 p.m. Eastern time on the IAS? Well, maybe. Tune in and find out. Brophy finishes in second. Jason Brophy, and Hamilton Akabuizi comes home in third. Join us again next week for round 5, week 5 of season 3 of 2025 of the championship of the IndyCar Oval Series Tuesday night top split, presented by Topia Systems, as the teams and drivers head to Kansas Speedway for what surely will be an action-packed night race. Coverage begins around 8:15 p.m. Eastern time. Again, that's 8:15 p.m. Eastern. And remember, as always, for the correct broadcast time in your area, you can find everything right here at youtube.com/P1 Broadcasting. Hey, we love bringing these races to you, but they're not easy and require time and money to produce. If you share our passion for the sport of IndyCar and have enjoyed our coverage of the IndyCar Oval Series Tuesday night top split, please take time to visit our GoFundMe page. The link is in the description. It's also pinned in chat, and you can donate to our 2025 broadcast fund. We realize times are tough, so any contribution would be greatly appreciated. We thank you for watching and making us a part of your Tuesday evenings each and every week. Now, as you know, The YouTube algorithm game's not easy, so please help support P1 with the weekly grind. Leave a comment below. Let us know your thought on tonight's race and enjoy tonight's coverage. Support us by smashing like in the video. If you're new, click subscribe, and while you're at it, hit the bell for weekly reminders so don't miss out on more of P1's other iRacing programming, including tomorrow night, the Horizon IndyCar Series resumes its Season 2 campaign with a stop at Michigan International Speedway for their first oval race of the season. Coverage starts at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. It's going to be all right here on P1. Promotional consideration paid for by the following: Topia Systems is the presenting sponsor of the Tuesday Night Top Split here on P1. Topia is where quality and affordability go full throttle. From custom rings to powerful pre-builts, Topia delivers top-tier performance without all the sticker shock. Built with premium parts and backed by a team that really cares, every system is tuned for gaming greatness. Topia Systems. Built right, price right, game on. To learn more, check out their links in the description. SimWrap Market is your go-to source for iRacing paid templates and broadcast resources. From clean base liveries to pro-level design assets, SimWrap Market is everything you need to build your brand on track. Visit simwrapmarket.com. Download, customize, race. Track cams for this race are provided by Whiplash Sim Cams. Get the most out of your iRacing experience with Whiplash Sim Cams. To learn more about Whiplash, so like them on Facebook or follow them on X and Instagram. Links are in the description. For business inquiries to learn more about P1 and what we do, like us on Facebook. You can follow us on X and Instagram. You can follow all of our social links on Linktree as well. So for Justin Petschauer, Luis Gonzalez Nunez, Mark Murphy, everyone here at P1 and Topia Systems, I'm Gary Gotzo saying to all good night and thanks for watching. And to all of our men and women serving in the military and as first responders, Godspeed, God bless, and come home safe. Catch us again right here next week in Kansas for what surely will be an exciting race at night for the next race of the IndyCar Oval Series Tuesday night top split here on P1. Good night, everybody.